It is a beautiful evening on which we're starting this retreat. It's cold and clear, very crisp outside. There's the light from half a moon. Yesterday it was pouring rain. Didn't even get bright during the day. And in the late afternoon there was snow, and it snowed all night. This morning the leaves on the ground were glazed with ice. The afternoon driving along the lake, the sun came out through a heavy layer of clouds. It's always such a miraculous thing when the sun comes out. And everything just lights up in color and translucence. Yellow and orange maples with half their leaves white. And the light on the ripples of the lake. Even in looking at the sky, these dark clouds were as much part of the light as the blue and gold that surrounded them. Right in the midst of this incredible beauty of the earth and sky and water and all the things that live and die, there is the pain and pleasure, and the terror of the human world. In individual human beings, there is the pain of isolation and separation, and all that comes from compensating for that, trying to get away from it. The competition and rivalry among individuals and groups and tribes and religious sects and business companies and nations. Rivalry and competition without any love and care, leading to war, armed clashes, bloody fighting and killing. Or psychological hurting and wounding. And then there is this outcry for disarmament and peace. The hope that disarmament will bring peace. And yet within individual human beings, the oblivion to the inner armament. Stockpiles of memories. of past wounds and hurts. And a deep craving for security at any cost, and revenge or retaliation for past hurt. Not necessarily consciously, and yet the effect is the same, whether the motivation is conscious or unconscious. Conflict and clash. What is it within ourselves that is so defensive, and what are we defending? How can we tackle defense and offense in the world when there's no clarity about defense and offense within oneself? What are we defending? What are we trying to protect within? What is it that hurts? Coming to a retreat like this, spending 7 days, some people 4 days or 3 days in quietness, questioning, observing, breathing. Can there be full exposure of what is happening from moment to moment? Not the exposure of analyzing what has happened, but being in touch with it, without defense, without any ammunition. The ammunition being the words for or against, the resistance to touch and face. Is it possible to do whatever one is doing here? Questioning a koan, or who, or what is it? Or just this breathing in complete, total vulnerability? No resistance, no self-protection, rationalization, which means whenever it's coming up, to let it be exposed to awareness. Without doing anything about it. It is the awareness that heals, which means makes whole. As when the sun breaks through the thick layer of clouds and irradiating everything. About doing this thing together, this retreat, living, eating, sleeping, walking, sitting together. One of the special things about it is silence. Not to talk anywhere, if possible. Of course, if there's an emergency of a kind, one needs to talk to somebody. It's possible to take that person where will not be seen or heard and therefore disturb others. For any other communication, there's paper and pencil everywhere. This way one needs to be brief, what usually gets extended into more words than often is necessary. It is really a gathering and saving of energy to not to talk. But there's more than the silence of no words, no talking. It is the silence of moving with awareness, doing whatever one does, attending to the noise that is produced in the process. It's amazing how noise, when it is profoundly attended to, ceases to be noise. Because what drops away is that noise that is done to hear oneself and to be heard by others. Often it is just thoughtlessness, absent-mindedness, that one walks or touches things, makes noise which is disturbing to others, like opening doors. We live at very close quarters in this building. People are sleeping right next to bathrooms. So can one touch doorknobs, turn them and open and close the doors as carefully and attentively as possible, without making a thing out of it and out of oneself doing that? Everything we do becomes also a breeding ground for new images of being the quiet door opener. See it. That's the important thing, not what is seen, but that there is awareness in seeing. And so no stockpiling of images. The posture of the eyes, particularly in the sitting room while sitting on a mat or walking, it's very helpful to not move the eyeballs and to have the eyes not completely open, not completely closed. Everyone has to find the optimum position for himself or herself. If one is new at it, it may cause strain in the beginning, but the strain will pass. The strain comes from wanting to see something when it is so hard to see something, because one doesn't move one's eyes or doesn't have them open completely. But there's a real deepening of questioning or attending when the eyes do not move around, focusing on this or that which immediately wants to be labeled, understood, described, explained, and so the constant engagement of the intellect. When you go outside for a walk, it's all right to look at the lake or at the sky or the trees or whatever, the leaves on the ground. But can it happen out of no strain, no effort to see something? It's all there. What is it? I don't focus on something in order to attain a result. That effort to attain a result, can that come into awareness and therefore not rule the body-mind? Question it. What is it? Who or me? Or attending? Without any particular focus, which means no exclusion. About meals, does one have a plan in mind how much one is going to eat? Or how little? Or can there just be awareness and attention while eating? Chewing, swallowing. Actually, if this is done with great care, there is a self-regulation of intake and what is needed. And to observe the effects of eating or not eating. So no one has to tell one how much or how little to eat. It is similar with sleeping. Both with eating and sleeping, we have so many ideas about what is the right thing, the right amount. Can it all be open to questioning, to experimenting with it, without being fixed in any blueprint about it? When I was very tired at 9:30 when the formal sitting is over, nothing shameful about going to bed and sleeping, even if the bedroom is empty, no one else is there. Or if one is not sleepy, what difference does it make that it's dark outside at 9:30 and most people are going to bed? It doesn't matter when one sleeps and when one wakes in a retreat. One doesn't have to be ready for work, for driving, or for doing mental work. The retreat is there for sitting and inquiring and questioning, attending, at whatever time there's energy and wakefulness, and even at a time when there's no energy. One may want to question into that state of no energy. What is it? So, can one drop all the preconceived ideas of what one has read, heard, done in previous retreats, or has heard other people talk about what they did in previous retreats, and start from scratch every day, every night? Waking up in the middle of the night, can't sleep, it's all right to leave the bedroom. One can do it quietly. Someone is very exhausted, one will usually sleep deeply, regardless of what stirs around one, but some people do sleep lightly. So to be that sleeper too as you get up, is that possible? Of course, you are that sleeper too. So to walk quietly. And to sit or walk outside, or I don't know what the arrangement is, nobody said about walking inside in the evening after sitting. Is it in the dining room area? The dining room area can be used for walking. Again, quietly, because already on the other side of the divider may be people who are in need of as silent a place as possible. We have to do the best, make the best of it. Because the street is lit and the moon is gaining, so it should be lighter every night unless we have clouds. As was already mentioned by the coordinators, it is all right to take a sitting period or a block of sitting rounds or a whole afternoon, if you wish, or a whole day. It's up to you to walk. But let us know when you will be back. If you want to extend your absence and just drop in and write a new note so that everyone is accounted for. About the stick, maybe enough has been said, but there are so many ideas lodged in the mind, particularly people who have gone to retreats before or at different centers. There's nothing, no method or plan of hitting in the minds of the coordinators. It's a working together, and you can make known how you want to be hit. You can change your mind at any time. Can one drop all evaluation of how other people are being hit and comparisons and ideas, why this person is hit more or less, stronger or weaker? Are there ideas about the person who is hitting? The person has X-ray eyes to see the state of mind of the person who's being hit. People have these ideas, but they do not correspond to facts. So one might as well drop them and sit less burdened. Sometimes people write or heard some people read a novel, book, or magazine. This could be disturbing. We have dormitories. It could be disturbing to the people who are in the room, and it is disturbing to oneself in a sense, because this work, this attention, is not to record or to read up on things or to distract oneself with reading, but to face what comes up and to let go what has come up. A going into abeyance of this mind of analyzing and thinking and remembering and anticipating. If you absolutely need to do a thing like this, it would be good to do it where no one is there to be affected by it. has so many ideas of what one wants to accomplish in a retreat, what one has come for. And yet, what really happens from moment to moment may have nothing to do with all the previous plans and experiences. So, can they also be put aside? Just the sitting, the breathing, the questioning with or without koan, with or without word, not knowing where to, where from, not expecting. Not running away. Just this, not knowing what it is.